Good evening, and welcome to Central Washington's University's first graduate hooding ceremony. Thank you for being here and helping us honor our graduates. I ask that you remain standing and join Ms. Katia Cruz, who's graduating with a master's degree in music, in the singing of our national anthem. That's yours.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Please be seated. And thank you, Mrs. Cruz, for that beautiful singing of our national anthem. Before we get started, I ask you please to stay seated as students walk across our stage. We have professional photographers who will be taking individual photos of our candidates. And also, I ask our faculty to please be as brief as possible in celebrating your graduates and their hooding to allow for the next graduate's name to be heard with clarity. And finally, following the ceremony, please join us in the lobby for some refreshments. And I'm delighted to be joined on the platform today by many leaders of this great university. These individuals guide our practices. They offer their time, energy, and expertise to help make Central the top-notch institution that it is. Please join me with a round of applause for the academic leadership of Central Washington University. Students, I join all here today in expressing pride in your accomplishments. Completing a graduate degree is a testimony to your intellect, to your energy, and to your perseverance. Some of you have overcome extraordinary challenges to earn your degrees. You have demonstrated that odds mean nothing in the face of your talents, your self-confidence, and your hard work. Today, you will join approximately 10,000 graduate alumni of Central Washington University. This year, Central is awarding approximately 300 educational specialist and master's degrees from its 31 graduate programs that span the arts, the sciences, humanities, engineering, education, and other professional programs. This special graduate hooding and commencement ceremony provides an opportunity for the CWU community, your families, and your friends to take special notice of the accomplishments of you, our graduate students, and to give our appreciation to your faculty, mentors, in your attaining such a high level of academic achievement. I personally want to congratulate each and every student this evening for their success in this regard, and very much hope that you'll remember CWU with fondness as the place that helped you reach your personal and your academic and career goals. And also remember that as an alumni, you will always be a part of the Wildcat Nation, graduates now totaling more than 100,000 individuals. And now it's my pleasure to bring Mr. Ron Erickson, Vice Chair of the Board of Trustees, who will bring greetings from the board and the graduating class of 2018 and authorize the conduct of this commencement ceremony. Mr. Erickson.
Thank you. It's a real joy for me to be here because, as some of you may know, I'm a graduate of the class of 1966. So this is like a homecoming for me. On behalf of the Board of Trustees, I join President Gaudino in welcoming you to this ceremony today. This weekend, Central is awarding 3,803 education specialist master's and bachelor's degrees, which is just incredible. This ceremony celebrates what will be an incredible milestone in your life. It also marks your transition from student to alumni and new member of the Wildcat Nation. It's a vibrant community that is now well over 100,000 members. I'm proud to say, as I indicate, that I'm one of that group. My life certainly was immeasurably changed by my experience here at Central, and I think it set me on a course, much like yours today, to go out in the world and make a difference. Because of the top quality education you've received at Central, the trustees join me in expressing our confidence that you are well prepared to excel in any and all endeavors you choose. We wish each of you the greatest success. I hereby authorize President Gaudino to conduct this commencement ceremony and to confer the appropriate degrees upon each candidate. President Gaudino, you may proceed.
Thank you, Chair Erickson. And I would now like to welcome our Provost and Vice President for Academic and Student Life, Dr. Catherine Frank.
Thank you, President Gaudino. Today's commencement signals a major achievement resulting from effort, dedication, and sacrifice by students, their family members, and Central's graduate faculty and staff. The high quality of our programs is a reflection of the faculty's ability and willingness to inspire, advise, and mentor students, and I'd like to recognize the faculty right now for their hard work. This ceremony's focus, the first of its kind at Central, lies solely on our graduating education specialists and master's students and their faculty mentors. We have organized this separate graduate student hooding and commencement ceremony for two main reasons. First, the very nature of graduate studies is that it involves very close collaboration between students and their faculty mentors. The ceremony this evening will allow students and faculty directly involved in this advanced academic venture appropriate closure to this part of their experience together. Secondly, as Chief Academic Officer of this university, it gives me a chance to congratulate all of you for your participation this evening and your achievements. Your academic achievement is truly extraordinary, particularly when you consider that only about 9% of the American population holds a master's or education specialist degree. I truly hope that the graduate education you received here at Central was not only personally edifying and career enhancing, but also has provided you with the knowledge and tools to be used for the greater good of your immediate community and the nation at large. A more educated society, as we all know, can only be a more respectful and therefore a more civil society. Please do your part towards this end. I would now like to welcome our Dean of the School of Graduate Studies and Research, Dr. Kevin Archer.
Thank you, Provost Frank. Welcome again to our first ever graduate student commencement and hooding party. The fun's about to start. The happiness is here. It's going to be here on stage very soon as I'm done speaking. No. I would first want to recognize Shirley Oriana, a chemistry graduate advised by Dr. Anna Johansson, who has received this year's Dale and Mary Jo Comstock Distinguished Master's Thesis Award for her thesis entitled Geographic Classification of Wines Using Their Elemental and Water Isotopic Composition, with a special emphasis on Washington State. Shirley, please come to the podium to receive your award. That award is made possible by a generous contribution by Dale Comstock and his wife, who Dale used to be the graduate dean here a number of years ago. Some of you may remember him. Second graduate student I want to recognize very briefly here is Jake Funkhauser, graduating with a MS in primate behavior under the close mentorship of Dr. Jessica Mayhew. As this year's Source Research Award winner at the graduate level. Jake, could you please stand and be recognized? Thanks. Finally, it is my great pleasure to introduce our three student speakers. Samuel McManus, graduating with an MA in English Literature, will speak first. Lindsay Millward, graduating with an MS in Biology, will speak second. And Lisa Wildling, graduating with an MS in Primate Behavior, will follow up.
Pinned above my desk, barely visible over an array of Sharpie highlighted journal articles and library books with terribly important titles such as The Deconstruction of Deconstruction, is a yellowed clipping from The Onion, the satiric news website, accompanied by a photo of a man wielding a blowtorch and protective goggles, a guy whose face is the very study in angst, is this headline: Local welder suffering from welder's block. The breathless prose tells the heartbreaking tale of a worker who knows what he has to do: attach a supporting strut to a main girder. But alas, I keep running into a wall every time I sit down and actually try to weld. I occasionally gazed at the clipping during my 2 years in the English Lit grad program at Central. I didn't always reread the clip, but it was nice having it there to remind me not to overthink things, not to mull and stew and cogitate over papers and assignments until turning downright paralytic, not to strive for perfection at the expense of the perfectly acceptable. Oh, great, you're thinking. We've got ourselves a speaker advocating for the just good enough. Some inspiration that is. Venture forth into the world, my fellow graduates, and strive for mediocrity. No, that's not what I'm saying, not at all. What I'm trying to convey is the virtue of putting in an honest effort, both in future academic endeavors for those going in a doctoral program or in the workplace, and then be satisfied with it. At the risk of sounding like some twisted self-help guru, perfection will be the death of you. Not always literally, but most assuredly lethal to your self-worth. I'm here to tell you that, despite your lofty goals, you're going to make mistakes. There will be some niggling error in your data set that slipped past your eagle eye. There will be some mid-paragraph tense change that you didn't find, but your advisor certainly did. There will be some crucial, nay, seminal study that you neglected and now must shoehorn into a paper that you thought was pretty darn near perfect. That's what revision is for, and revisions of revisions, etc. ad nauseum. In my wanderings around campus, yes, often to avoid putting pen to paper, I sometimes see grad students in extremis. They comfort me, make me feel less alone in my stress. I see them hunched over doorstop-sized textbooks, temples throbbing like a heavy hip-hop bass beat. I see them in line at the Cirque for a caffeine fix, muttering phrases like standard deviation and semiotics, and unsheathing their smartphones to pound out a thought with their thumbs. I see their fingernails nod to the quick, their hair a Medusa-like mess. How do I know these are grad students? Because, sorry to stereotype, most undergrads just don't care to such an extent. Most undergrads are healthily engaged, sure, but not bordering on obsession with perfection. Have I mentioned how much I envy those Frisbee flipping undergrads? But enough about you. I am what is euphemistically called a non-traditional or returning student, old in other words. So with age comes wisdom and perspective, right? Hardly. Take a gander at the topographical map that is my face. Each wrinkle is a hard-earned testament to the futile chase for perfection in my current endeavor, writing. These past 2 years at Central have added some lines to my facial roadmap, but not as many as I figured, because finally, after all this time, I got it through my dense cranium that whatever I produce will be flawed. My job, keep those flaws to a minimum. My thesis, a creative project, involved embedding with a successful Hispanic-dominated high school cross-country team for 6 months to document their lives. At season's end, reams of interview transcripts and bulging notebooks sat next to the blank screen of my laptop. The cursor blinked a rebuke. Loser, loser. Finally, I took an index card and scrawled what would become my mantra. Just say what happened. I pinned it next to the blocked welder clip, and then I went to work, emerging 2 months later with 393 pages, 122,571 words. But who's counting? Was it perfect? No. Was it perfect after the 2nd or 10th revision? No. It will never be perfect. But after months of honest effort, it is perfectly acceptable. Otherwise, I wouldn't be standing here tonight. So all I'm trying to say is that the quest for perfection will follow you long after you leave here. Trust me, it will nip at your heels and sometimes take out a mighty chunk of flesh. My advice, tell your inner welder to stop thinking. Then pick up the torch, turn the knob, and blast away. You just might flame into being. Thank you.
Congratulations to the graduates today, and thank you to our professors, friends, and family for celebrating us throughout this journey. As the nonviolent philosopher and religious leader Mahatma Gandhi once said, the best way to find yourself is to lose yourself in the service of others. There is so much power in this statement, but before I address the responsibility we now possess with our advanced degrees, I want to describe how one person's selfless actions can forever alter the trajectory of another's life. Picture a sensitive child attending a new school, filled with boisterous kids and completely overwhelmed. Back then, my parents walked me to the classroom every single day. I had trouble concentrating and struggled with anxiety. But this all changed when my 3rd grade teacher, Miss Anderson, entered my life. She approached me not as an anxious child needing of extra attention, but someone who could find the strength within herself to overcome her fears. And when someone else believed in me, other than my loving parents, it gave me the confidence to start believing in myself. This was the beginning of building the self-esteem and work ethic, and most importantly, the grit necessary to succeed in graduate school. I am forever grateful for this phenomenal teacher who gave me the extra time and attention and the opportunity to experience being an engaged student. Learning became much easier and actually fun. Without a doubt, this shift in my perspective changed my trajectory towards a path that would ultimately lead me to stand in front of you today. It is my guess that some of you in this room also have a Miss Anderson story. Someone who took the time to guide you to fulfilling your absolute maximum potential. We have dedicated years to striving to master our respective disciplines. For the past 2 years, I have had exceptional mentorship from the faculty members leading the wildlife monitoring teams on the I-90 Snoqualmie Pass East project. I am so fortunate to have been able to integrate my master's thesis into a project that the biology department has been involved with for over 10 years. The I-90 project supports us researchers to investigate the impact transportation corridors have on the natural world, but also provides an opportunity for engaging the public about the importance of conservation. The experience I had this summer working as a teaching assistant, leading undergraduates, and observing the faculty and staff dedication to best serving their students has inspired me to continue my career in academia. And my hope is many of you have also discovered something new that inspires you. As we close this chapter, our intense whirlwind of study here at Central, I would challenge you to shift your focus from expanding your own mind to using your newly acquired knowledge and experience to be more than a colleague, more than a student, more than an employee, and towards someone that those you encounter can count on for support and encouragement. The wonderful thing about this call to action is it can have a tangible ripple effect that can and will influence change. We are the leaders of our generation. We have the power to inspire and encourage others by demonstrating courage, kindness, selflessness, understanding, and compassion. As you move forward today, I would ask for ways to look to be that kind of influence to those around you. Seek chances and environments that allow and support you to be a positive role model in all aspects of life. Part of this is to always be supportive of the sciences and the arts and the continued search for knowledge and the preeminence of facts. We all must be outspoken advocates for the disciplines that we have come to love and are central to our own lives. I look forward to seeing how all of you take advantage of the wonderful gift of education we have earned today. As we turn our attention outward, we will be charged with inspiring up the next generation and in turn, reaching our fullest potential.
It is truly an honor to be here on this glorious day. What could I say to my fellow graduate students that would be memorable or noteworthy? Perhaps it's how I got to be here in the first place. Unlike most, if not all of you, I have already had a career. And this career was with a large corporation where I worked from the ground up to a high-paying position. Growing up, I really had no plan for my life. I just toppled and fell where life threw me. I was very fortunate, but I didn't love my job. I was good at it and I did well, but I didn't love it. On one occasion, there was a field problem at this corporation. And back then, anyone working on a field problem did not go home until the problem was solved. I was working with a young man, and it was the wee hours of the morning, going on 23 hours straight. Pitch black outside. We were the only ones in the building, except for security. We were close to that fix. And while we waited for the compiler to finish, we played this game. If you could have any job in the world, regardless of the education that it took, or if the salary didn't matter, what would you do? Surprisingly, neither one of us chose the high-paying job that we currently had. He went first. He'd be a professor at a university out east. Wow, that was so different than what he was doing now. Now it was my turn. What would I do? I had recently watched this PBS special on TV. And during the show, a gorilla who was taught sign language told the story of the day he was captured in Africa when he was young and how they killed his family. Not only was this heart-wrenching to watch, but I had an overwhelming desire to help them. What would I do? Oh, you'll think it's silly, I said. But I want to work with gorillas to learn their communication. I cringed, just waiting for the laughter. There was none. He simply responded, "Why don't you?" Oh, I had a million reasons. For one, I didn't have any gorillas. I'm too old. My education was geared towards software engineering and on and on. He heard none of this. He said, "You read every article and every book ever published on this topic, and you will know as much as anyone else in the field. I looked at this young man and realized that he did not see the world full of obstacles, but full of opportunities. And I never forgot that conversation. Fast forward 10 years later, this young man had long left the company to pursue his dream. And I had the rare opportunity to retire early, leave this high-paying job, go back to school to chase this dream of mine. I did not hesitate. Of course, I was terrified. I mean, my husband had to drop me off in front of the building in my first class, and I felt like a kindergartner. But I was there to learn about guerrilla communication. CU Boulder is a liberal arts university. So every class I took, be it poetry, history, physics, every paper I wrote, the focus was always guerrillas. And I loved it. I graduated with my biology degree, but that was just a start. CWU was my goal, the only master's program in primate behavior. I lived and breathed great apes for years, and I met many magnificent gorillas and chimpanzees along my journey. And it all culminates to this evening, where we recognize receiving a letter-sized piece of paper with some fancy typed wording on one side. You think they could have at least put some print on the backside. But it means so much more than that. This piece of paper represents your journey, your commitment to yourself, and your commitment to this university in whatever degree you chose. It is something to cherish and be very proud of. Today marks one of those few days in your life where such a great achievement has been made. So my words are of encouragement. Go after your passion and look for those opportunities. Well, they might appear as obstacles at first, but perhaps you need to look at them differently. And a goal without a timeline is simply a dream, so stay focused on what you want. And don't settle for a job because of the salary. Settle for a job because you love it, and think of all the positive things that you can accomplish in your life. Thank you, and congratulations to each and every one of you on this most significant occasion. Now go forth and tread lightly upon this precious earth, leaving it a better place than how you found it.
Thank you, graduates, for those words. It's because of all of you that we're here and love what we do on a daily basis. So today's commencement signals a major achievement for all of you, resulting from effort, dedication, and sacrifice by students, their family members, friends, and Central's faculty and staff. Are you ready? Now, will all candidates for education specialists and master's degrees please rise? President Gaudino, subject to the completion of all requirements as prescribed by the faculty and trustees, these candidates are presented for receipt of the appropriate education specialist and master's degree.
Subject to the recommendation of the faculty and by the authority the Board of Trustees has vested in me as president, I confer upon each of you the appropriate degree, together with all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities. Congratulations, graduates.
Okay, we will now begin the hooding process and conferral of degrees. We will start with the students earning the Educational Specialist degree, the highest degree awarded at CWU. And we want you all to celebrate your graduates, but we ask that you do it very briefly so that we can hear each name of each graduate as they cross the stage. So students, please come forward.
Dr. Richard Marsicano will now hood the graduates in the Educational Specialist School Psychology area. Casey Nightingale. Dr. Heidi Perez will now put our graduates in Educational Specialist School Psychology. Hannah Sarbloom. Catherine Dietz. Dr. Heath Mars will now hood the Educational Specialist in School Psychology. Melissa De Leon. Sierra Stock. Tyler Cox. Dr. Richard Marsicano will now hood our Master of Science in Applied Behavioral Analysis. Holly Kolb. Emily Nordlund. Dr. Anthony Stahelski will now hood for Master of Science, Experimental Psychology. Rebecca Rose. Scott Lehrman. Dr. Ralph Greenwald will now hood for Master of Science in Experimental Psychology. Brianna Bratcher. Dr. Tanya Buchanan will now hood for Master of Science in Experimental Psychology. Matthew Christensen. Eric Eckberg. Dr. Fred Washburn will now conduct the hooding for Master of Science, Experimental Psychology. Allie Elizabeth Petrusik Urban. Dr. Susan Lonborg now conducting hooding for Master of Science, Experimental Psychology. Michael Clark. Mariana Wendt. Dr. Susan Lonborg is now going to conduct a hooding once again for Master of Science, Mental Health Counseling. Romario Solano Arenas. Dr. Fred Washburn will now conduct hooding for Master of Science, Mental Health Counseling. Itzel Corona Madrigal. Heidi Keene. Dr. Jeff Pennick now to hood for Master of Science, Mental Health Counseling. Isla Naomi Medina Uyula. Victoria Rivera. Kim Colucci. Dr. Marty Fallshore will now conduct the hooding for Master of Science, Mental Health Counseling. Dorothy Moore. Dr. Elizabeth Haviland will now conduct the hooding for Master of Science, Mental Health Counseling. Jace Decker. This is Dr. Roger Schaefer hooding now for Master of Science, Law and Justice. Taylor Greenwood. Madison Swanson. Dr. Cody Stoddard now to hood for Master of Science, Law and Justice. Taylor Payne. Anna Lopez. Dr. Charles Reasons now to Hood for Master of Science, Law and Justice. Eric Lewis Galvin. This is Dr. Veronica Cano, now Hooding for Master of Science, Law and Justice. Isaac Gutierrez. Dr. Mark Samples, now Hooding for Master of Music. Alyssa Haig. Dr. Gayla Blaisdell, now Hooding for Master of Music. Tatiana Cruz. This is Dr. Nicholas Kawili, Hooding for Master of Music. Rebecca Netterheiser. Cooper Autumn. Andrea Schmidt. Dr. Gary Weidenauer, now to Hood for Master of Music. Joseph Cook. Dr. John Pickett, now to Hood for Master of Music. Brianna Eddy. This is Professor Christina Berrigan, Hooding for Master of Arts, Theater Arts. Marcus Bingham. Zerat Odenewu. This is Dr. Xinzhong Li, Hooding for Master of Arts, English, TESOL. Wang Shiwan. This is Dr. Loretta Gray, hooding for Master of Arts, English, TESOL. Zachary Dalton. Dr. Gray will now hood for Master of Arts in English, Samuel McManus. Melissa Heaps. Victoria Zhenchuk. Dr. Christine Sutphin to now hood for Master of Arts, English. Alicia Leva. Dr. Ellen Abbott's to hood for Master of the Fine Arts. Jacqueline Trujillo. Professor Rachel Kirk to now hood for Master of the Fine Arts. Drew Lidke. Dr. Dan Herman now to hood for Master of Arts, History. Dane Hansen. Dr. Roxanne Easley now to hood for Master of Arts, History. Robert Moser. This is Dr. Kimberly Bartell to hood for Master of Science, Family and Consumer Sciences. Ashley McAllister. Myron Hamilton. Dr. Dwayne Dowd to hood for Master of Science, Family and Child Life. Peter Waterman. Courtney Bowen. Deidre Dudney. Dr. Amy Claridge now to hood for Master of Science, Family and Child Life. Curtis Kelly. Madison Robin. Antonia Perez. Natalie Porter. Dr. Sarah Feeney to now Hood for Master of Science, Family and Child Life. Anita Waterman. Mai Canada. Dr. Henry Williams to Hood for Master of Education, Higher Education. Francisca Chow. Sebastian Niles. Moni Loam. Suprita Scribner. Valeria Villa. Jessica Maria Rosales. Dr. Heidi Henschel-Pillay, now to Hood for Master of Education, Higher Education. Joseph Burton Wallslager Smith. This is Dr. Donald Wattam to Hood for Master of Education, Higher Education. Samantha Reed. Sarah McGuire will now be hooded by Dr. Wattam for Master of Education, School Administration. Dr. Kelly Benson to Hood now for Master of Education, Master Teacher. Emily Peters. Dr. Carol Butterfield to now Hood for Master of Education, Literacy. Leah Patch. Dr. Janet Finke now to Hood for Master of Education, Literacy. Allison Jane. Lisa Olson. Gina Rux. Constance Service. Dr. Sharon Walker to now conduct the hooding for Master of Education Literacy. Rebecca Malmaseri. Dr. Ian Lavero now to hood for Master of Art Individual Studies. Amy McAllendon. Dr. Janet Spybrook to now hood for Master of Education, Special Education. Chelsea Martin. Dr. Wendy Castillo now to hood, Master of Education, Special Education. Kristen Masder. Dr. Kirk Mathias now to hood, Master of Science, Health, and Physical Education. Kaylee DeWitt. Dr. Mark Perez now to hood, Master of Science, Health, and Physical Education. Jeremy Carter. Dr. Rory Weisar now hooding Master of Science, Health and Physical Education and Athletic Administration. Micah Fitzpatrick. Alexa Olagi. Joey Ropo. James Segura Mitchell. Willow Shanahan. Megan Thompson. Erica Waldner. Dr. Brian McGladry now hooding Master of Science, Health and Physical Education, Athletic Administration. Morgan Minson. Trevor Richards. Carla Wellens. Dr. David G. DeHood for Master of Science Nutrition. Sandra Valencia. Dr. Susan Hawk now hooding for Master of Science Nutrition. Hannah Allen. Professor Dana Ogan hooding for Master of Science Nutrition. Allie Papendick. Dr. Rebecca Pearson, the hood for Master of Science Nutrition. Jenny Norton. Dr. Karen Romer's now hood for Master of Science, Integrative Human Physiology. Brianne Rowe. Dr. Timothy Burnham to hood, Master of Science, Integrative Human Physiology. Roxanne Lausch. Jason Rice. Dr. Robert Pritchett to hood for Master of Science, Integrative Human Physiology. Devin Drummer. Trevor Gray. Trev Muth. Dr. James DePape to hood now, Master of Science, Integrative Human Physiology. Rachel Blank. Lindsay Renterius. Dr. Kelly Pritchett's now hood for Master of Science, Integrative Human Physiology. Jerusalem Tesfaye. Catherine Fiegel. Dr. Daniel Beck, hooding Master of Science, Biology. Jefferson Brooks. Dr. Jason Irwin, hooding Master of Science, Biology. Naomi Sabayan. Dr. Christina Ernst, now to hood, Master of Science, Biology. Lindsay Millward. Dr. Dion Rivera, now hooding Master of Science, Chemistry. Caleb Kaiser. Dr. Corinne Thomas to hood, Master of Science, Chemistry. Katun Albarani. Dr. Anna Johansson, the hood, Master of Science, Chemistry. Shirley Oriana. Sean Ting. Dr. Timothy Beng, now hooding Master of Science, Chemistry. Abdukani Omar Farah. Dr. Boris Koberylchuk, now hooding Master of Science, Computational Science. Dimitro Dohalets. Dr. Silar Devoida, now hooding Master of Science, Computational Science. Sadia Afroz. Bibayan Banek. Ishwe Leo. Dr. Patrick McCutcheon, hooding now, Master of Science, Cultural and Environmental Resource Management. Alexis Dyson. Sean Sherbanen. Dr. Patrick Lebinsky, now hooding for Master of Science, Cultural and Environmental Resource Management. Matthew Johnson. Dr. J. Hope Amison, the hood, Master of Science, Cultural and Environmental Resource Management. Barbara Hammersberg. Dr. John Bowen, hooding, Master of Science, Cultural and Environmental Resource Management. Sam Pfeiffer. Dr. Elvin Delgado, now hooding, Master of Science, Cultural and Environmental Resource Management. Brian Straniti. Dr. Tony Sipich, now hooding, Master of Science, Cultural and Environmental Resource Management. Sarah Pratt. Dr. Carl Lilquist, hooding, Master of Science, Cultural and Environmental Resource Management. Scott Kugel. Dr. Lisa Ely de Hood, Master of Science, Geological Sciences. Logan Wetherell. Dr. Bray McInnes, the hood for Master of Science, Geological Sciences. Rebecca Becerra. Dr. Wendy Borson, hooding, Master of Science, Geological Sciences. Marie Takoch. Connor Toth. Dr. Jessica Mayhew, Pudding, Master of Science, Primates Behavior. Carly Batiste. Blanca Ponce. Jake Funkhauser. Kyle Runzel. Dr. Heidi Shaw Hooding, Master of Science, Primate Behavior. Kaylee Dombrowski. Dr. Lori Sheerantahood, Master of Science, Primate Behavior. Lisa Wilding. Josephine Holm. Samantha Jones. Amanda Osborne. Kiri Lee Stouch. Dr. Terry Alkire Hooding, Master of Science, Information Technology and Administrative Management. Brian DeFrang. Nab Singh Sangha. Dr. Robert Trumpy to Hood now, Master of Science, Information Technology and Administrative Management. Wilson Butler. Saad Al-Rashidi. Ching Da Pan. Wen Shan Lee. Dr. Laura Portalese, Hooding, Master of Science, Information Technology and Administrative Management. Ronald Lake. Dr. Robert Lupton, now Hood, Master of Science, Information Technology and Administrative Management. Taylor Burr. Mitch Huffman. Jason Thompson. Dr. Jacqueline Krause-Hooding, Master of Science, Information Technology, and Administrative Management. Antonia Szymanski. Dr. Ethan Bergman, Hooding for Master of Science, Information Technology, and Administrative Management. Ian Boyer. Dr. Julie Bonner, now Hooding, Master of Science, Information Technology, and Administrative Management. Eric Dowdy. James Marker. Allison Chopik. Gloria Garon. Maggie Martinson. Chelsea Bowles. Vanya Stegic. Sherry Steele. Yanira Vargas. Angelica Villalobos. Dr. Elizabeth Fountain to Hood for Master of Science, Information Technology, and Administrative Management. Madely Martinez. Michael Sigletti. Dr. Nathan White, now Hooding, Master of Science, Information Technology, and Administrative Management. Brian McDougall. Dr. Teresa Walker, Master of Science, Information Technology, and Administrative Management. Cameron Walker. Dr. Susan Rivera Hooding, Master of Science, Information Technology, and Administrative Management. Amy Darmetko. Jared Nielsen. Dr. Hideki Takai, now hooding Master of Science, Information Technology, and Administrative Management. Marina Suramantikova. Morgan Chang. Sherilyn Harris.
Well, congratulations. Well done. Well done. So I would like to invite the president of our Alumni Association, Mr. Dan Nicholas, to the podium.
Thank you, Provost Frank, and I don't know how I'm going to follow that. Today, we celebrate you and your achievements, not just your time here at Central, but everything that led up to get you here. It's through the hard work and achievement that honored you and all the people who have helped you. Because even though we try to use it to explain a lot of things, life isn't lived in a vacuum. It takes all sorts, professors, teachers, family, friends, cohorts, and people mentoring you, even if you weren't aware they were mentoring you. You have earned your degree, but you were never alone on your journey. These people have supported you emotionally, academically, and probably even financially. There is a community, your Wildcat family, waiting for you out there in the world. 100,000 people in all professions, all over the map, ready to, and eager to help you as you engage in the next part of your life. 100,000 people, family bound by the love that we share for this institution and what it represents. To be brief, and I don't want to be the last guy here, I'll leave you with a few things that have really stuck with me throughout the years. Listen. Don't just wait for your turn to talk. Understand what someone is saying to you because it's important to them. Work hard, stay humble. When you get stuck, ask for help. And so often we are caught up in appearances, we fear seeming weak. The truth is we accomplish more together than we do alone, and people really do want to help you. And don't ever stop learning. Class of 2018, be the best class ever. We know you'll make us proud.
So I would like to thank Mr. Robert Lowry for announcing each graduate student. And I'd also like to thank all of the staff, the hardworking, very hardworking staff who put in so much work to make this event successful. And finally, thanks to all of the volunteers across the university who helped us stage this event and the many events this weekend. Thank you all so very much for your support. Okay, so now it's time to celebrate. The platform party will lead the recessional and exit the arena first. All students and faculty, please stand. You will be released momentarily, one row at a time, and starting with the first row. And families may meet their graduates in the lobby for celebration and refreshments. And one more time, congratulations, you all. You did it. Fantastic work.